going. Let's see if it'll go wide. Orientation lock, rotate device back. Oh man, it's gonna do it wide. All right, we'll just stick to it this way. So, had some other vehicles that I finished last week, and now I'm back on my big project, and it is a Suburban um, with a project that I don't typically do this kind of thing, but you know, this one's interesting. So I'm going to kind of go over and show you a little bit of where I'm at on it. I have many hours still or in it already, and many hours to go. So let's see what you think. So we started. Here's the vehicle. Older model Suburban. So we started off with power. Got two high output alternators here, and they're hooked together, and they run all the way to the front here. In which case, we're the power wire goes up through the floor. We got two aught gauge runs going up, and then to a lithium battery, where one goes to a lithium battery there, and then the other battery is on the other side. The client put together these batteries for the system himself, so uh, they seem to be working pretty good at like 15.5 volts, which is crazy. We've got a couple of the amps here, and I made these sliding amp racks. Still got to handle the wire a little bit, but got these sliding amp racks so that I could maintain and adjust these amplifiers as necessary. Everything has to be, you know, maintainable, right? What's the point? The reason why these have to slide out like this is because they're the enclosure, the subwoofer enclosure, is going to take up from here to about uh, halfway into the back area, and I will not be able to get down to this stuff very easily. So it pays to have it, maintainable. So this one slides out, that one slides out. I'll show you got a little bit more of that one wired up right now. So you can see this is what four runs of aught gauge goes. So these amps have a couple of aught gauge power inputs each. So I got the ground going in there, and the next thing up is the positive connections there. Main fuse for the. This is temporarily done because the enclosure is going to be a wall right here. It's going to be a pod with a couple of speakers and tweeters here. But I'm going to have the fuse panel. I'm going to have a fuse block. Let's see. So this guy is going to be mounted somewhere over here, something like that, because we want to be able to get to everything, right? We want to be able to, whenever one of these fuses blows or something like that, we want to be able to change that without having to tear the entire vehicle apart. So that is the plan there. We've got some fuse block or bus bars for grounds. And okay, so as I said, the enclosure is it's going to be a fourth order bandpass enclosure. So those vehicles you see with the big port in the front, you do hair tricks and stuff like that. This is pretty much going to be that kind of thing, but it's not an SPL vehicle. This is something that you want to like open up and play for the masses or something like that. So apparently this is really big over on the East Coast, and this guy moved here from Maryland and was like, "Hey, can you build one of these for me?" And I was like, "Hey, why not?" Right. So, anyways, so there's gonna be a big opening there, and you'll be able to see inside. And there's going to be 4 18-inch subs in that, and it will be a whole ton of sound. That's one of the 18s in the box there. There's going to be 210s, 2 tweeters here. There's some door panels that he ordered from Russia, I believe, that are going to have, I think it's 6 10s and a bunch of tweeters in each door. The center console, because we're running out of space for amplifiers. The center console here is going to house the sub amp, which is an enormous sub amp. I'll show you that in a second. And then there's going to be another layer that's going to have all the 2-channel, 4-channel amplifiers. 2-channel. No, I think they're mono. All the highs and mids. Everything's basically running mono in this vehicle. So they're all going to be lined up there along with the processor, and then we'll have switches and stuff like that to be able to turn everything on and off. These are the amps right now that we are working with for the mids and highs. And then processor. Yeah. So, and then I can show you the. We've already finished up the barn doors. They're pretty much finished up. These are going to be rhino lined. So that's one side there. And there's another one. What do you think of that? Can I get wide enough to? There you go. A little bit more, like these doors are actually different sizes, different widths. So it got a little tight on here, but for the most part, it worked out pretty good. And I think I got the pitch pretty decent. Let's see what the. So as I said, this is the box for the 18-inch for one of the 18-inch subs. This is the sub amp. You gotta look at this thing. This is ridiculous. Look how big this guy is. A 10,000 watt amp. Boom. Look at that. Crazy. That's gonna take up the full length between the front of the vehicle and the enclosure, pretty much. So the enclosure, the sub enclosure, is gonna go about halfway here-ish around this area. That's going to be the sub area. And then another 12, 13 inches. Whoa. Vehicle started up right there. Anyways, hopefully you can still hear. I'm going to build a stunt wall. So there's going to be a wall here that's going to have like 10, 12s, I think it is. All in there. And then we're going to do like an array of tweeters and a couple of horns. Show you what those are. Let's see. Here's one of the tweeters. So we got these bad boys going in there. Very loud. As I said, not what I usually do, but hey, I'm down for a challenge, you know? And it's kind of cool to take a vehicle apart knowing you're never going to put it back together. Like a lot of the interior is just out of it. Kenwood radio, going to head the whole thing up. And where's the horn? There you go. Okay, it's not assembled right now, but so this is one of the horns. So you're going to do 2 of these. Meter scale, you know? Yeah, and that's one of the 10s. It'll go into the barn door. So yeah, as you can see, pretty crazy setup we're doing here. Probably going to hear this coming down the road. That's my guess. We're going to do 4th order. The enclosure will be 4th order, yes. Here's the graveyard of pieces and parts. Yeah. And oh yeah, the this base here, this metal base here that was the first thing I built. I wanted to have a platform to continue along here, so the enclosure can sit literally from here all the way to there to the middle of the cargo area without stilts. I don't know. I guess this is kind of my version of that. I'm trying to make use of all the space. You know what I mean? The center area there will have all the wiring running down in between. I need to remove the AC back there, but there's a cap off kit I need to get to do that up from the front. and filled cavities with foam. So I'm doing that before putting some sound deadening in there. Painted the windows black so you can't see out there. Yeah. So that is what we're up to. Hello, Andrew. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to share with you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Keep checking in with us, and we'll get this cranked up at some point. I think we're gonna try to do wood and start building the enclosures and stuff within the next 7 days ish, and this thing will start looking like it's getting done pretty quick. So, yeah, check out my other videos, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and